Welcome to Uplifting Humans, where we honor, empower, educate, and inspire the listener. I'm Salindran Buller, your host. Our guest today is Waxela Sananda. She has been here in the past. She's a quantum embodiment coach, a galactic shaman, Ascension Trainer, and the best-selling author of the Love You Crave, a course in Ascension Alchemy and connection to the divine. Welcome, Waxela. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Thank you, Salindran. I'm so happy to be here. I'm excited for this conversation.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it. So today's topic is quantum change, and I took the liberty of looking up. Now, what does quantum change mean? Quantum is like a subtle tapping on the shoulder to wake us up and to what else is possible. And sometimes it's not so subtle as well. When your entire belief system turns upside down, and the entire shift really right now is the shift in consciousness that humanity is currently trying to navigate. That's what I feel quantum change is all about. It's all about consciousness, waking up and living your truth. I know that Waxela's taught a lot of workshops in regards to quantum change and the ascension process. Do you feel that that's what's happening? Do you feel like a lot of people are ready for this, or they're getting prepared for this? What are the masses doing in your workshops?
Yeah, I really do feel like this is the time, that we've been waiting for. And, well, here we are, most of the world is quarantined. Um, this is the time to really cultivate that change from within. And, there are a lot of misconceptions about what is ascension. But my take on it, and I think many people's, is really the embodiment of higher frequency living. That it's like the quantum embodiment, the embodiment of the multidimensional self, and the experience of becoming more present, the experience of becoming more turned on and activated. This is the time that we've been waiting for that, and the energy is perfect for it. And it's like right now we have the incubation period of getting to, have the earth quieter. The people, the activity on the earth is quieter. People are at home. And it's like for so many people, this incubation period. And what I'm hearing from my clients, from, my tribe, from a lot of friends, is that people, even though they're getting more rest right now, a lot of people are really tired. A lot of people are sleeping more. A lot of people are waking up, having slept 10 hours and still tired and need to take a nap. And I think it's like that recalibration that's happening right now. The earth has had the Gaia, the goddess of the earth, has had her ascension into 5D, and now it's the physicality that is
Mm-hmm.
catching up. And it's the same for us. Our consciousness is, for many, many of us, has already shifted into that 5D vibration, but our physicality, our bodies, our beings, our DNA, our energy is catching up. And so for many people, it's like this is the cocoon time where that metamorphosis is happening from within. And maybe for some it's detoxing, but we are shifting. If you're taking this time to do that, this is the perfect time to really make that shift internally so that
And
you
there's
can
do you
shift up.
feel that there's a sorry
That's
for
okay.
cutting you off, but I needed to ask you a question because I get this quite a bit with Kundalini yoga. Is there a time that people are feeling that they need to integrate and consolidate as well? Because I know from the yoga perspective, a lot of people are needing that time. That's why they're feeling a little bit depleted of their energies. Are you feeling that as well?
Yeah. Do you mean me personally or
No,
my
as in
in general?
generally for the people that are going through this
Yeah.
integration period, the cocooning time that you refer to, there is a period where, things are going, kind of smooth.
Hmm.
You understand and you realize, okay, there's something going on here. Can't quite put my finger on it. But then all of a sudden, it's like you're depleted of your energy and you really need to, you know, spend that time going internally. So there's this surge, and then there's this consolidation period. Then there's this surge, and then there's this integration period. Do you feel that as well? Like a lot of your workshop people that attend your workshops and stuff?
Yeah, I do feel that's happening for a large number of people right now. We're, and everybody's, on their own timeline, but within that, it seems like there's this collective timeline right now of there has been a big surge. And then I think it's because of the quarantine, people are at home. I think that it's just this time that we're kind of forced into feeling what we feel because we're more sedentary, a lot of people, and it's harder to be active if you're not going out nearly as much. And so it's that quieting down, and then you really start to feel, like for anybody who meditates too, when you sit down and just get present, really present with yourself right here, right now, suddenly you feel like, oh my gosh, I didn't know I was so tired. I didn't know I was feeling this, or whatever that is, whatever's up, you feel it. So for so many people, they've been stressed and going so fast and pushing and pushing and pushing. This is the time where it's like the recalibration and the reset. And I think that's pretty global, but also in the realm of the ascension and the quantum change that's going on right now. I think there is a collective reset happening, and a lot of people are just really tired. Like I even have people replying to my emails just out of the blue, I'm tired.
That's right.
I've
That's
seen
right.
a lot of that. I'm just like, I think it's universal for a lot of people right now.
Yes, and I know from the yogic perspective, and going back 20 years or so, when I first became a yoga teacher, they spoke of the Aquarian age, which really aligns with the Mayan calendar as well, and the intense changes that Earth was going to be facing, and of course, we're so connected with the Earth as living beings that are breathing and moving on Mother Earth, as on Gaia. And so if the Earth is changing, of course we're changing. And of course, if you look around and you see the changes in the political arenas, in the economy, I mean, let's face it, we're in information overload. And of course, information overload becomes very, very, very tiring. And of course, we've got an epidemic. And of course, there's that other end of the spectrum. A lot of people, because of all of this, they're feeling that there's an inner emptiness. There's actually an inner emptiness, which kind of, I was thinking, where can I find an example? Where can I find an example? And I want to share an example. The Amazing Grace, of course, was written by a sea captain, and he actually wrote it, and he was actually inspired by a transformational experience when he happened to be transporting a shipload of slaves. So he wrote that during bringing over a shipload of slaves, but it took a process before he changed what he was doing in his life. So it's not something like, okay, today we're going to switch on put on the switch and we're going to flick it to the Aquarian age. This is a process. This has been taking place, and we're very, very fortunate that, we have a teacher like Waxela, who has gone through that whole process already. So there's some that have kind of gone over that bridge into those other realms, into those other dimensions, done the ascension process. So when you look at quantum change, change is inevitable. Change is going to happen. But the beauty is, can you A, navigate yourself, or B, can you tap into someone who has done it? They can be the way shower. They can be the one who's going to say, hey, this is what's happening. You're not going out of your mind. Let us show you the way.
Mm.
And I think there's a lot to be said. And I think also, Shayla, I think it's a really good opportunity at this time. what does this mean? Like, does this mean that for the rest of our lives, are we going to be in quarantine? Are we going to be going through more and more epidemics? Like, how is this emptiness or this depression that some people are facing right now? Because they constantly focus in on the lack or the lack of. Um, can we touch upon that a little bit? You know,
Yeah.
um, what do you suggest to some of these people that are going through this quantum shift or change in order to lift themselves up when they get into those moments of emptiness or moments of depression?
That's a great question. I actually wrote a book about it. It's called The Love You Crave.
Yes, your book. Yes.
That speaks very much into that loneliness that everybody feels when it comes down to it and you get really present with yourself. No matter who you are, you have to get comfortable with you, with being yourself, with your being embodied, being in your body, and all of the choices and decisions that you've made, whether there's an epidemic or whether everything's perfect in the world. It's all about what's going on in here. And so my advice is, number one, to just start noticing what is going on in here and what's going on up here with my mind, and start to notice, where am I judging and where am I bringing myself down and where am I judging others? And that's really, one is a reflection of the other, because the world is a reflection of our perception, and we see the world as we perceive, and we perceive it based on our thoughts and based on what we're feeling. And so, first of all, getting in touch with your mind, noticing what's triggering you and becoming aware of it, and then being willing to release it and reset yourself and recalibrate. And it's important to be diligent about your mind. And I've noticed just in the last, several weeks, I am very much in tune with my guidance. I have free will. I am sovereign. However, I choose to go with my guidance, which is just my higher source, and my guidance is very much like, do not turn on well, I don't watch the news anyway, but don't turn on the news, don't watch TV, don't tune into anything negative, no conspiracy theory videos, no, none of that right now, especially more than ever. Like, people are sending me stuff left and right. Watch this, do you think it's this? And I used to kind of indulge in some of those things, but now my guidance is like, absolutely not. Do not open it, because you must manage your mind and be very clear about the frequency you're holding, and hold that space, not only for myself, but for all of my clients and for everybody else who is trying to hold that space. It's paving pathways. And then another thing that my guidance is having me do, there's a lot of chaotic thought out there in the world. And
yes.
I'm an empath, so many of us are empaths. And so I start to pick up on it, and I'll notice my mind will start to go. And I've been waking up at night with thoughts in my mind, and my guidance will remind me, bring it down. And what that means is, bring that thought into your heart. So I'll wake up with, thoughts in my mind, bring it into the heart and just let it sit there and feel it in the heart. And then the heart will help you just let it go, or calibrate, or to release it if it's not doing you any good. Or, if I get into some sort of, I don't really indulge in negative thinking, but if I accidentally pick something up and I bring it into the heart, I can just release it then in non-judgment. And so it's a practice. It's not something, I started practicing managing my mind 30 years ago. So it's not something that I expect anyone to be able to do immediately or overnight. But what you can do is start practicing noticing your thoughts, not judging them, but releasing what isn't serving the highest good, and then bringing it into your heart center and just reminding yourself, even after 30 years, still, like, bring that into the heart. Or if I find myself in judgment or fear or any of that, you know. And it happened to me yesterday. I woke up after, well, it's been full moon energy. So I woke up and I was tired, and I had a lot of intensity in my being. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I processing? And
Yes,
I was processing some self-doubt, some worthiness issues that, you know, I'm like, oh my gosh, I thought I was done with this, you know, but there's another layer. And like, you know, even though I teach this, I'm not immune to it. You know, I'm human too. Like
that's
I
right.
layers of intensity will come for me, but I practice releasing it so that I'm not harboring it and holding it, because holding on to it isn't serving anybody. So just really be diligent about letting go of what's not serving you, and then breathing, and practice a better feeling thought. Practice gratitude, generosity. Like I find whenever anybody starts to get sucked into fear, the very best thing you can do is find a way to be generous. Find a way to give something to someone else. It doesn't have to be money. It doesn't have to be physical. It could be a phone call to somebody you know wants to talk. It could be, you know, just kind words, a smile, a hello to somebody that's wearing a mask and fearful in the store, you know, anything.
That's right.
It's
That's
just
right. It's just,
generosity, and love breeds love, where fear is a pullback, and it'll take you out of that love and generosity. So that is one thing anybody can do in any moment. It's always a choice what you think.
and that's a huge, I mean, those are great tools. And again, I do have to, backtrack just a bit. And that is that, as much as where Shayla and I have spent a number of decades with our practices, that's just the humanness within us that will always have different layers and different things come up at different points, because we all have a little bit more work to do, just a little bit more work to do. And you also have to understand that being in the present day, in the quantum fields that we are, because we've been doing our work, of course it's going to be easier for you, because we've kind of been doing the work for so many years, and some haven't even started their process, and some are just beginning their process. But because we've been doing our work, it's going to be easier for you. It's not going to take as long, because we have great teachers that can help and show and pave the way and give you tools. And the other thing that I wanted to touch upon is your intuition. You know, in this day, in this age that we're stepping into, um, our intuition, it really guides and protects us. And you know what? We cannot we cannot afford to look for all the answers to what's going on the inside. We can't look for the answers on the outside. It really is, you know, the ability to sit quietly sometimes and just understand that you're going through something and allow for that moment to pass, feel it, you know. And it's also interesting, in the old days, it's all about, what's your outward appearance? It's all about, the exterior, but now it's about who are you? What's your inner character? It's about who you are on the inside, the truth of what you carry, not what you pretend. It's about integrity, it's about service, it's about compassion. It's no longer about possessions or greed or your outward appearance. It's people know you before you even enter the room. People know you because people are picking up who you are as an individual prior to you even being in front of anyone. So, you know what? It's the time to stand in your truth, to unite as one, and live from that truth that you know to the core of who you are. And the next few sessions that we'll have, it's all about learning and applying some of the tools that Waxela was just sharing. It's about quieting our minds, discovering our inner spirit, and 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 joining sacred communities like this, because this is the time to do it. We don't have any more time that we can afford to be running around and trying to figure things out. It's like, you know what? You've done it. Come, you know, hold each other's hands and step forward. It is actually a great, great opportunity. And that's why I just love, Waxela brings a beautiful energy to the work that she does. Um, you know, uh, Anything else that you'd like to share with Shayla? What else can we expect during the next number of sessions that we're going to have? Because we're going to put some of these practices into experience so people can actually use them as they're going through their quantum shifts or quantum changes.
Yeah, thank you, Salindran. That was beautiful what you said. All of that, and what it was really bringing me to is frequency. You know, you said people can feel you before you walk in a room because it's the frequency that you're holding. And I do want to touch into that in that, you know, that is your frequency is the thoughts, the feelings, the emotions, and the energy that you're holding in your beingness and your presence. You know, what kind of presence are you bringing? And so the in ascension training, that's about practicing holding higher frequency, and by higher I mean more consciousness, more awareness, and more kindness and generosity and love and the bliss vibes. And when you're practicing that and holding it for longer and longer, people absolutely feel that and resonate with it and respond to it. Just like you can feel somebody's holding anger. It's like you can just feel it through walls. And so why not focus on the good stuff, the love, and practice holding those energies? And so, yes, what we have coming, I know we have a number, let's see if I have them written down. We're going to talk about calibrating to the new earth. Maybe I should let you describe. And I know we're going to do some lives and some activations, and I think that's going to be really fun. I love doing activations, and I love doing them live because people really feel them and receive them in the moment.
Yeah, today it's all about change and whatever it is that you can't quite put your finger on, but without a shadow of a doubt that there's this change. And and these huge changes that are occurring, we're going to gradually bring you to the point of utilizing some of the tools. The next one that we do have is on April the 19th. It's called Calibrating to the Earth. And then the following week, we have Calibrations and Activation Explained. And that is where Waxela will be explaining a lot of the work that she's very, very familiar with. And I'll be here as well. And I'll be sharing some of my Kundalini yoga experiences and understanding and knowledge with you. So you're getting a 2-for-1 special. Um, and that's really, really incredible. But I do want to emphasize here that these first 3 particular episodes will be recorded and the last 3 will be live. And, the changes that we're going through right now, sometimes the change can take a few minutes, sometimes a few hours, and sometimes it goes on for, months or years. So it's forever unfolding of yourself and of the times that we're in. So, one thing is for sure, it's a new you. Nothing is going to be the same ever again because you're stepping into a higher consciousness level of yourself. And of course, the majority of people will be able to shift through this. I know that there's a lot of panic out there, but there's no need to panic because we have the ones that have done the work. And that's the most incredible gift that you have that's coming forward are people that are able to share, this is how I did it, and this is how we're going to get you started on the path. And of course, gratefulness or gratitude is a huge part of it, because your basically your understanding goes to, there's something inside of you that you understand has just shifted because you're grateful for what you have. So the focus isn't on what you're losing or what you've lost, but it's on what you do have, and what you feel that you're worthy of receiving as well. So calibrating to the new earth on April the 19th. Waxela, what do you foresee will be giving, and maybe experiencing some tools? Maybe we'll go into a small meditation, or do you feel that it'll be more of a sharing of knowledge and understanding rather than experience?
Why not both?
That's a great
I think
yes.
both would be good.
Yes, yes. I think so, because, you can't, in 6 sessions, we're not able to put the combined experience, for us, probably at least 50 to 60 years of experience into 6 episodes. So what we'll do is we'll try to do something where we explain small tools that you can apply when you're in a situation of lack, or you're feeling a little lost, and you're going into the unknown. I mean, I think Waxela explained that very beautifully last time, because you really are going into the unknown, because it's like a brand new beginning. A brand new beginning. And just keep your focus on what matters most to you, because it's your truth. It's not my truth. It's not Waxela's truth. It is your truth. So whatever it is, whatever your values are, um, you know, uh, currently, you can bet on one thing: they'll be turned upside down, inside out, during this process of quantum change. And we're going to be here by your side, guiding you, helping you, showing you the way. Um, and I think, Waxela, I think what we should do is maybe also express um, the importance of you taking care of you. You
Mm,
know,
yeah.
if you want to touch on that, because I mean, there's nothing more important than, okay, you can't help anyone else when you feel like you need the help.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say, and something I always tell my clients is working on yourself it's never selfish to do your own work, because when you work on yourself, you're actually helping everybody else. You're freeing yourself to be more open, to be more clear, to be more evolved, to be more conscious, to be more present. And that in turn helps everybody around you, and it helps the earth itself and the space you're in and all of the beings. And there are also so many beings. I'm just feeling called to put this in here. So many beings working with us, so many ascension guides, celestials. I've had, and every night in my dream time, I have guides coming to me saying, we are here to help with the ascension process. Just tell people to call on us and we will help. But they're not going to interfere without an invitation, because we all do have sovereign free will. So open your heart to the highest guidance if you feel called to do that. If you want help, if you're having a hard time, or if you're having a great time and you want to go faster and open up more and help more people, just open your heart and call your ascension guides in. And I always say, my prayer is, show me how I can serve more. Show me how I can serve and be of service at this time. And wow, the guides that come to me are incredible, and the information and the frequencies that they give me, it's pure bliss when I open to it. And so that's available. I just want everyone to know, play with that, because as much, and I would say it like this too, as much fear and chaos as there is in the world, we're in duality here. So there's an equal amount of love and bliss and expansion available. So which wave do you want to ride? Ride the bliss wave, ride the ascension wave, open to it. The energy is just ready and waiting for you. And what you're seeking is seeking you.
Even more. That's right. That's right. I couldn't have said it better. I mean, I'm so excited that we get to spend this beautiful time with Waxela. I mean, I cannot emphasize enough how many of you should get the book, The Love You Crave, A Course in Ascension Alchemy and Connection to the Divine, because you know what? That is your go-to Bible if you want to ride the waves that are going to bring you into that new beginning. And that's where we are today. Um, I so look forward to working together with Waxela. And like I said, our next opportunity to get together will be April the 19th. We will put this on our podcast as well as on YouTube. And next week we'll discuss in detail calibrating to the new earth. And we call it the new earth because it's new opportunities, new beginnings, and new relationships. And so if you haven't felt the quantum shift or the quantum change yet, you definitely will be feeling it very soon. Any last words, Waxela?
Well, I just want to say how grateful I am for this collaboration with you, Salindran. And you're just such a beautiful, divine being. And it just makes my heart so happy to have these conversations with you and to be a part of this with you. And I really think now is a time of collaboration, a time of communing with your tribe. So everybody, please connect in with us, reach out to us, and collaborate. You know, there isn't the time of competition is over. These are the times of bringing the tribe together, creating the new earth together, and collaborating. And I'm just grateful that you're creating a space for that. So thank you.
You're very, very welcome. And so once again, your website for the listener.
WaxelaSananda.com. It's my name, and it's a little tricky to spell.
We'll have it on the podcast as well as the website. And I, of course, am your host, Salindran Buller of Uplifting Humans, where we honor, empower, educate, and inspire the listener with real stories and expert advice. Of course, we would love for you to share this and to bring more and more people into this beautiful gathering where we're going to spend the next 5 episodes now to show you how you can make that quantum shift or quantum change. Thank you so much, and you have a wonderful day.